So as discussed towards the end of the last program, here we cannot use an array, but we have to calculate the sum of the digits. We have to reverse the number and check whether the number is a palindrome. You remember when we started using an array seemed to be difficult for us. But now without using the array, doing this might be a bit challenging, isn't it so? Now calculate the sum of digits. How to do that? Very simple. Let us take an example. 573. How we are going to do that? 573. How to calculate the sum of digits? See, for that 573, I will firstly divide 573. I will just divide 573 % 10. I will do. So I will get this 3. But I will divide 573 by 10 to get 57. Then again 57 % 10 will give me 7. Then again 57 by 10 will give me 5, and 5% 10 will give me 5. Then again 5 divided by 10 will give me 0. I will go out. This will be the logic. So to implement this logic, what do I need to do? For. I really don't know what should I write in the start of the for, within the for, initialization at the end, or maybe condition checking, what I should write. But I know one thing, that if I have to calculate the sum of digits, then what I need to do is, the sum of digits needs to be sum of digits plus equal to, what do I need to add with it? I will have to add the number, whatever is the number. I have not scanned it yet. I will scan it. Number percentage 10, I will have to add with that. Say sum of digits is 0. Number percent 10, number is 573. So number percent 10, what will it give me? 3. So sum of digits 3 will be added to it. And then 573 will have to be converted to 57. How to do that? Number is equal to number by 10. Is not so? So this much being the for loop, my program should be done. See what did I do? I have just done 573 is the number. Now number percent 10, that is 573 % 10 makes it how much? Makes it 3. So that 3 is added. Number equal to number by 10, the number becomes 57. I go back to the start of for loop. Again number percent 10, 57 % 10, 7. Sum of digits 7 added to it. And number becomes number by 10, 5. Then again I go to the start of for loop. Number percent 10, 5% 10 is 5. 5 added to sum of digits. Then again number percent 10, 5 becomes 0. So I will have to go out now. So a necessary checking needs to be done, that number does not become equal to 0. Is not it so? Well, once number is equal to 0, I will have to go out. So I think you understand this. One small change, I will get rid of this because this is this might confuse. Now one thing that I will tell you, like I told in the previous program also, let us not disturb number, let us not change the value of number. Number contains the original number. So assuming that I will scan this number within a variable called number, let it remain as it is. Instead, let us take a variable called temporary number and copy number to it. Whatever I do, I will do it on temporary number. So I will check, I will initialize temporary number equal to number, temporary number not equal to 0. So the sum of digits addition, that will not be with the number percent 10, it will be with the temporary number percent 10. Similarly, this number will not change, temporary number will change. I have just used a temporary variable to work on it instead of changing my original variable. So let me now scan, tell the user firstly printf, enter the number. Once I tell that to the user, it is expected user will enter. So scanf %d ampersand number. In a variable called number, I will scan it. So this variable number needs to be declared. Also a variable called temporary number needs to be declared. A variable called sum of digits need to be declared because I am calculating the sum of digits. So these 3 variables are needed. So I have scanned it within number. Now this thing should work fine. Let me print the sum of digits and see how it works. Printf, the sum of digits of the inputted number is percent %d. What should percent %d be replaced with? Sum of digits. Sum of digits. So now I am printing the sum of digits. I expect that this will be give me a proper result. Let me check it. It should give me a proper result. Alt R, enter, no errors, enter the number 3578. The sum of digits is 1329. This is wrong. Why is it wrong? Because sum of digits was not initialized. Remember, I have to initialize sum of digits to 0. I did not do that. So sum of digits should be initialized to 0. Otherwise, it will give me a wrong sum because it was initialized with some odd value, some garbage value. Let me run it again. Alt R, enter. Enter the number 3452. The digits of the inputted number is 14. 3 plus 4 7 plus 5 12 plus 2 14. So this program works fine. Now what was the next part of the program? The next part was reverse the number. This was the next part, reverse the number. How to reverse the number? Very simple. Now my logic will be somewhat like this. See what? Say the number is 572. I will take 2. That is the number percent %10 I will take. Once I take number percent %10, I will initialize a variable called reverse number. I will initialize this variable called reverse number. I will take this 2. What I will do is somewhat like this. The same logic I used last time. Reverse number I will initialize to 0, but into 10 plus AI for all I. Sorry, for not AI, reverse number plus what? The number, whatever was the number, percent %10. See what happens then, reverse number into 10 plus number percent %10. Say reverse number was initialized to 0. So if reverse number was initialized to 0, 0 into 10 is 0 itself, plus number percent %10. The number is 572 plus 2. So what is the reverse number now? Reverse number is 2. Now next time I will change this 572 to 57. So I will divide the number by 10 and keep it. So reverse number, for the reverse number you need number percent %10, that is 7. So if you use the same logic, reverse number into 10, reverse number is 2. So 2 into 10 it becomes 20. 20 plus number percent %10, 57% 10 is 7. What do I get as a result? 27. Next time I will convert this 57 which is there in the number, I will change it to 7. Sorry, not 5. I will change it to 5. So that percent %10 is 5. So what will I do this time? Reverse number into 10 is 270. 270 plus number percent %10. What is that? 5. So what do you get? 275. So the logic is reverse number into 10 plus number percent %10. So let me do the same thing again. I will not do on number, I will do on reverse number. Remember, I will do it on reverse number. So for that, let me write this program again. How to write this program? See, let this for remain. I will check what to do. Over here, what I need to do is reverse number is equal to reverse number into 10 plus number percent %10. Every time number will be number divided by 10. But the same old logic, I will not use number, instead I will use temporary number. So temporary number has to be initialized to number. Reverse number has to be initialized to 0. And I have to check temporary number does not become equal to 0. If temporary number becomes equal to 0, maybe in this case, last case, I will have to go out. So temporary number not equal to 0, reverse number initialized to 0. I will write this program. This is the program. Reverse number is equal to reverse number into 10 plus number percent %10, and number is equal to number divided by 10. So this program should run fine. I should end it over here. If I run this program, this should run properly. Let me get rid of this part which is not needed, so that there is no confusion. Now I will run this program. Let me get rid of this. Okay. So if I run this program now, temporary number is equal to number, reverse number I initialize to 0, and temporary number not equal to 0. I will keep on running this. So this program should run fine. I need to declare one variable. Which variable? Reverse number. I should put it in. One thing that I need to do before running this program is, see, this is number. I have used temporary number. So this is temporary number. Also this is not number, this is temporary number. So just make this small change before running this program, and this program should run fine. Let me try to run it. Let's see what happens. Alt-R, enter the number 574, digits are 16, 5 plus 7, 12 plus 4, 16. See, I have not printed the reverse number, so let me print that, because I have not used that printf, so the reverse number was not printed. Printf, the reverse of the inputted number is %d, so that will be reverse number. Okay, so let me now run it. Alt-R, enter, say 5, 8, 7, 2. So see, sum of digits of the inputted number is 22. 5 plus 8, 13, plus 7, 20, plus 2, 22. Reverse of the inputted number is 2785. It is absolutely printing correctly. Only a /n is not given, which you need to give over here, because the last printing over here did not put a /n at end. That's why you need a /n over here. So let me run it once more. Alt-R, enter, say 542. So the sum of digits is 11. 5 plus 4, 9 plus 2, 11. The reverse of the inputted number is 245. How to check whether it's a palindrome or not? Same old thing. I can do the same thing. If number is not equal to reverse number, that thing. If number is equal to reverse number, printf, the inputted number is a palindrome. Is a palindrome. So else printf, the inputted number is not a palindrome. There is a number and the reverse number are same. Only then you call it a palindrome. So over here the number and the reverse number are same. How do you know that? By checking number equal to reverse number or not. Inputted number is not a palindrome. So that is what you are checking. You need a /n over here, because the last printing did not put a /n at the end. So we put a /n right at the beginning. So again you may run this program and check whether it is running fine. So Alt-R, enter the number 56. So sum of digits 11, reverse 65, number is not a palindrome. But if I say 898, it is a palindrome. 898 is 25, 8 plus 9, 17, plus 8, 25. Reverse is 898 itself, and the inputted number is a palindrome. So this is how you run it. So we will be ending over here. The next class that we will come back is with a 2D array. If you are interested, you may think of it. You may think of it yourself. What is a 2D array? But we will come back with the concept of a 2D array right at the beginning of the next class. Thank you so much.